Hey, what's up guys? I want to thank Guardian Tales for sponsoring this video. I don't really do that many sponsored videos. In fact, I turned down a lot of offers mainly because the games are just not that good. Guardian Tales, however, is a different story. I looked up this game before I took the sponsorship and I didn't think much of the game based on the gameplay that I watched. I knew it was probably a decent game since it has a rating of 4.6 out of 5 in the Play Store with over 1 million downloads. So I was like, you know what? I guess I'll try it out. I thought this was just going to be a super simple game with no depth, and I thought I would get bored from playing it, but I actually had a lot of fun playing it. I played it for about 7 hours just to get enough information to introduce you guys the features Guardian Tales has to offer, and there's quite a lot to cover. So what is Guardian Tales? This is a classic action adventure role-playing game. It's sort of like a top-down hack and slash. It reminds me of the classic Zelda games, I would say. The game is surprisingly very polished, it runs very smooth, and I'm a big fan of the art. In-game, it's pixel chibi sprites, but if you actually go to your character select screen, you can see that this game has live 2D art, which is always very cool to see. And since we're on the topic of characters, you do summon for characters in this game. It's a gacha. There's a spark system. I believe it's 300 summons to spark a weapon or character of your choice. There's also a pity system where you are guaranteed a unique hero summon after 30 pulls of not pulling a unique hero, so that's pretty cool. Now, what about the gameplay? The combat is quite simple to understand. You only have 3 buttons to press: normal attack, weapon skill, and the run/dash button. In the early stages, there's not really that much to think about. You pretty much just run around the map, fight enemies, and try to reach your destination to finish your quest. When you progress further, the story maps become more and more involved. You're no longer just going from point A to point B and just killing enemies along the way. When you progress, you'll find yourself solving puzzles. It seems like each chapter it tries to introduce some type of new puzzle mechanic to the gameplay. If you do like solving puzzles, then you might enjoy this game because there's quite a lot of puzzles. You will also find yourself doing side quests within each story quest. There's always like 2 or 3 NPCs that you can talk to in each map. Upon completing those side quests, they can grant you weapons, materials, money, and some even open up a hidden stage on the world map, so there's quite a lot of stuff to do in the story alone. And speaking of story, it's kind of funny because this game is filled with references of other popular games and pop culture. Like in the story, you get a phone so NPCs can follow you on a social media platform called Facebook, which is obviously a reference to Facebook. The shop in this game is called Camazon. Obviously you know the reference there. By the way, the shop offers a lot. You know, you can buy equipment using in-game money, costumes for your characters using gems, materials for character upgrades, and other miscellaneous stuff. Anyways, I've seen other gaming references for Zelda. There's this one part of the game where you pull a Master Sword, or in this game it's called the Master Blade out of the rock, and there's this NPC associated with the scene named Byrule. Now there's another stage where you're like farming materials for upgrades, and in that map you have to destroy like 3 to 4 parked cars, and that's a reference to the old Street Fighter games. You get the idea. There's a couple more that I noticed, but I'm not gonna spoil any more for you guys. One of the few challenges of this game, in my opinion, are the bosses near the end of each map. Early on, they're not that difficult, but the later bosses did give me a bit of trouble, mainly because I was probably under geared, but yeah. The bosses, you actually have to pay attention, dodge stuff, and notice attack patterns. Each boss has their own little gimmick, and there's always something new about each of them. Guardian Tales is actually a deeper game than I expected, especially in its character customization options. Every character has 5 equipment slots. There's 2 slots for the weapon and shield, accessory slot, and 2 card slots. This game offers 200 unique equipment within 10 different equipment types. There's 9 different kinds of weapons that you can use. There's one-handed swords, two-handed swords, rifle, bow, basket, staff, gauntlet, claw, and shield. When it comes to character progression, there's 4 things to do: hero evolution, limit break, awakening, and level up. I think hero evolution and limit break are similar. They basically increase stat caps, I believe. Awakening is where you use materials to unlock nodes in this grid for increasing character stats and for unlocking abilities. All the materials used for character progression can be found in the Rift. You can farm gold and experience from the resource dungeons. Awakening dungeon is where you destroy parked cars for awakening materials. Yeah, I know it's really random. And the 3 dungeons on the right are for shard farming for evolving heroes. The grind in this game doesn't seem that bad. I was able to keep my characters at max level for the entire early game, but then again, you know, I've only played this game for about 7 hours, so I don't know how it is late game. Luckily, there is an auto battle feature. It's really handy as you can set the number of times you want to auto battle a map, and the game will just farm for you until the request is finished. Once you finish optimizing your team, you can challenge yourself in the tower. The tower is that one mode that most of you guys should be familiar with. The higher the floor, then the harder the enemies and the better the rewards. It's as simple as that. Now, the Coliseum and Arena are forms of PvP modes. Coliseum is player AI versus player AI, while Arena is real-time PvP. Basically, for Coliseum, you choose an opponent and you get the option to set your team's formation to counter your opponent's formation. Then when you start the battle, everything is automated until the last man standing wins. It's kind of like auto chess. As for Arena, unfortunately, I'm kind of stuck in World 4, so I couldn't unlock Arena to show you guys what real-time PvP looks like, so I don't really have any info to share with you guys on that. There are guilds in this game. I joined a random one, so I didn't really partake in any activities, but there are guild raids, and you can even just hang out in the guild lobby with your guild members if they're also just chilling in there as well. This game does have a global and guild chat system, so you don't necessarily have to go into the guild lobby just to chat, so that's pretty neat. Last but not least, on the main screen here, this is called your floating castle. This is why I like to call Farmville, because you can build structures and design your town layout. Apparently the town is one of many sources of gold, and some structures also grant buff effects, so it's a pretty big deal. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for Guardian Tales. Like I said, I had fun with it during the 7 hours that I played it. The level of charm the game has is astounding, you know, from the pixel art, the animations, to all the pop culture references. If you have any interest in this game, then be sure to check out the links in the description below. Anyways, as always guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.